starting off the show tonight. We heard something from the Use Your Illusion CDs with November Rain, because that's all it seems to have been doing here for the last week. And then a little salute to Chris Aiken from the CMS fans, or a CMS fan. Sal from the chat room wanted to send a salute to veteran Chris Aiken with Metallica, the Four Horsemen. And stepping up to the mic is the decorated veteran himself, Chris Aiken. What's going on, Chris?
Well, thank you, Sal, for not dedicating some TNT ballad to me or something. Appreciate it.
So there you go, a little soft with the hard. And since Guns N' Roses and Metallica toured together so many years ago, it was a good fit.
It was good tour. I saw its show several times. Did you see that tour?
I did not see that tour. I was on the road.
Okay, yeah, that was right when you were truck driving, Neeley.
Yeah, I was on the road, so I missed out on all the fun.
Right. That was a good tour. That was definitely a fun set of shows that they did that tour.
Yeah, well, I got video of it. I got full shows video. So, in this day and age with the big screen TVs and, the surround sounds and whatnot, it's almost like being there.
In today's world, that counts as going to a show, doesn't it?
It is. Everybody goes to shows via the YouTube these days. So, this was back in the day when VHS used to be the king of video.
That's right. When you'd watch that doc and Unchain the Night all over and over again with Jeff Pilson with the rubber guitar just jamming out.
That would be George Lynch, my friend, with the whammy neck.
Was that Lynch that was doing? I don't even know.
He does spins and deep knee bends and the whammy neck.
Yeah, I just assumed it was Pilson because it was actually funny and not dull.
Well, Pilson was the announcer.
Okay.
You too, kids, can be a rock star. Come back from your favorite show and you wanna spin the guitar around your neck. The throw and go guitar buddy.
Right.
So good.
Nice.
So, but thinking about that and thinking about where we've been or where we've come from.
Yes.
Back in those days. You think about it. When did videotape start becoming a thing? Whether it was beta or whether it was VHS or whether it was what was the big ones with the big cartridges?
The Super 8 or whatever?
They were just a huge cartridge. I think only schools had them and stuff.
Yeah, schools and hospitals. I forget what those were called, like Supermax or something.
Yeah, they were huge, But I think if I'm not mistaken, that was like the mid 70s when having video to play on your TV started to become a thing.
Right. Sure.
And then it went into the Betamax, which it went small. The cartridges went small, and then it went to VHS, and the cartridges got a little bit bigger.
They did.
And then
I never did. You understand why VHS overtook Beta? Because Beta was much better, much cleaner, much better video than VHS was.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't understand it. I really don't know the reason why that went the way that it went. But yeah, I agree with you that the Beta, was more compact. It seemed to be a higher quality. I don't know. Maybe it was just more expensive or something.
I can't imagine it was more expensive. It was a smaller cartridge.
Yeah, I know, but maybe the way that they manufactured it made it more expensive. I have no idea. I really don't.
I know. I have one Beta tape that still exists somewhere in this disaster of an office, and it is Journey, Frontiers and Beyond. I had that on Beta.
Yeah.
Way back when.
Well, the club that I worked at back in the 80s, they had the big, huge screens with the projectors. And they were subscribed to a monthly video service. So every month we would receive 2 or 3 VHS tapes with all the latest MTV style videos.
Sure, right.
And we would play all the videos that MTV was playing, and we'd play them up on the big screen in between, depending on what was going on, whether it was like a dance night or whether a live band was playing or maybe we were having Monday Night Football or something like that. But it would just kind of be something we would play in between, whatever was going on, So, yeah, having those VHS tapes with all those MTV videos was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, I wrote about it a little bit in the book, in the new book. There was a club in Korea called the MTV Club.
Okay.
And it was just a retired Army guy that ran the place. And all it was, and this is way before flat screen. So he had TVs like anchored up into the walls in the, every corner of the club. And he would get videotapes every week from like home, from whoever, from his, family or whatever, of Headbangers Ball. And that's all the club was, is you would go into the club and you would watch videotapes of Headbangers Ball, on these, in this club, and drink jungle juice and get all fucked up.
Well, there you go.
That club, though. It was a great club.
Yeah, well, this club that I worked at had the smoke and the lasers and the big Serwin Vega sound system, and had the big screen with the projectors that projected any videos, and it was a very well put together club. It was very sophisticated for its time, Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So it was always a cool hang, and I enjoyed it. That's where I kind of picked up the desire to get behind the mic and do some DJing. I was never one of those guys who did the scratching and all that shit, but it was a rock and roll club, so we played a lot of AC/DC and White Snake and Led Zeppelin and all that kind of stuff. So it was just a lot of fun.
You were like, that's AC/DC, shook you all night long, and here to shake you all night long now, it's Britney coming to the stage.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it went too. Pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was a good time. I'll never forget that. Probably the best, probably the best decade of my life for sure.
80s?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I definitely. Give me the 80s again over anything else that's happened. Everything else has just been a bag of shit.
I agree. Well, speaking of that,
yes,
I was just flipping through Amazon Prime today.
Okay.
And, I just happened to stumble across a documentary on the rainbow and the whiskey.
Okay.
And it just was released this year. I don't know how long it's been out, whether it's just been a few months or whatever, but I just happened to stumble across that, and wow, it's got a lot of cool interviews on there and a lot of footage, and people like anywhere from Slash to Matt Sorum to members of the band Chicago to Alice Cooper or Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees, or they had Lemmy on there, of course. They were interviewing him, and of course the owners, Mario Maglieri, who passed away a couple years ago, and his sons and grandson who runs the place now. And
right.
It was a very good documentary. So if anybody has an interest in that kind of stuff, there's a documentary on Amazon just called The Rainbow.
Very cool. I'll have to look that one up.
So I watched that today, and then I just vegged today, man. I just hung out and I watched movies. I watched back to back. I watched the movie Wall Street and then Wall Street Money Never Sleeps.
Nice.
I like those movies. That Michael Douglas does a really great job in both of those movies.
He's generally a good actor. I mean,
he is. I agree.
He's good. I like him.
So today I didn't even venture out of the house. I just looked out. It was just cold. I was just like, fuck it. I'm not going outside.
Yeah. Well, I continued my week-long staring at plastic dicks. I did today. Just building that porn site and just staring at plastic dick after plastic dick after plastic dick.
Nice.
It's fucking so good. I almost feel like I'm ready to be a homo now, because all I do is look at dicks.
Just looking at dicks.
So I probably have 40 hours of staring at dicks this week.
Well, you're like what's his face in the movie Superbad. I just drew dicks. I had a lunchbox full of dicks that I drew.
Well, I have a hard drive full of dicks now. Hey, this is the Teflon Tommy chocolate edition. Hey, this is the Top Gun vanilla edition.